Good afternoon, everyone. I am in the kitchen cooking, so excuse my little noise in the background. I do not have um, my camera on because I'm moving around, but that still does not mean the message can't go forward because somebody needs to hear that starting over is not the end of the world. I have had to start over several times in my life, from having a stroke in 2007, having to learn how to walk all over again, going through intensive therapy, being left with seizures, learning how to deal with them, having five small kids. Your life is turned upside down. Depression creeps in. You don't think you can do it. You don't think you can make it. I didn't think I could make it. I thought that was it. Life was ending for me. I was 27. I had five small kids. What am I going to do? I could not walk properly. I could not stand on my own. Although in the beginning I thought that I could. Your brain plays tricks on you when you have seizures and you go through a traumatic. Your brain goes through something traumatic like that. So of course I didn't want the help. Uh, Quickly realized that I needed the help because I would fall. I would fall constantly and would hurt myself even more. So I had to come to terms with it. Hey, you need the help. So I accepted the help. And that was one way that I had to start over with something in my life that I already knew how to do, which was walk and speak and disorganized. I mean, everything was, my brain was chaos. So I'm still learning some things. I had to learn so many things all over again. After, let's talk about grief and after losing someone, um, a parent, whether you're young or older, if that parent was really a fixture in your life, someone that you talk to every day, you consider to be a best friend, and you never really thought you would see yourself living without them, going on without them. And God says that He needed them. And so you have to let them go. But then the aftermath is there you are. You have to start over. And not necessarily, oh, you got to start over with your life. It's so many meanings to having to start over, which is why I wanted to do this to just touch on a lot of different areas we would have to start over because so many people are going through different things where they're having to start their life over. And sometimes it's not just about starting life over, starting from scratch with money and things like that. But in this particular thing, I lost my mom in 2016 to cancer. On November the 2nd, she was diagnosed, and on the 16th, she was gone. So it was 2 weeks. Didn't think it was going to be so quick, uh, but it was, and it was really, really hard for me to deal with. I instantly dropped everything, moved in with my mom, took care of my mom, and on her last day here, I held her in my arms while she took her last breath. I think about it almost daily. I can't lie and say that I don't think about that particular thing every day. But I tell you, from 2016 to 2024, I have learned to deal with it a whole lot better. Um, Most of the times now that I think of her, I don't cry. Um, as strange as it may sound, sometimes I laugh. I laugh until I'm crying because in certain instances, if something happens and I can hear her voice distinctly saying something that, or I hear, it's like I know what she would say in that instance, and a lot of times it would just be funny because the lady was a hoot. She was hysterical. So sometimes I laugh, and I think that just comes with time. It comes with being able to, get through the latter part of it, the first beginning part of losing them, and you eventually come to terms with, okay, they're gone and they're not coming back. And once you get to that point, it does start to get a little easier. Sometimes I go through certain things when I know she would have been there, when I know some of the things she would have said that would have made me feel better. I could hear her giving me advice. And in that moment, because of the situation, I cry. Um, but because I knew her, because I know her, and I know what she would say, and I know what the advice she would give. So I end up really doing what I feel like she would have said, and still taking her advice, even though she's not physically here. And I know that sounds strange, but that's how close we were. And I can still hear her to this day, and some of the things that she would say and how she would say them that would make you just feel better. Um, so that helps me to continue on. But going back to 2016, honey, 2017 I was a mess. I wouldn't leave home. I didn't want to leave home. I just could not phantom being able to go out in the world without having her with me, still being the source. Me and my mom talked on the phone every single day for hours, multiple times a day. I mean, I would talk to her in the morning, get off the phone for 30 minutes to get dressed, just to go pick her up, to spend all day with her, to drop her off at home, call her, talk to her on my way home. Once I get home, maybe hang up, talk to the kids, do some things, but eventually call her back again, or she would call me before going to sleep, sometimes falling asleep on the phone. So we were really, 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 really close. And we had our moments, our issues, as every mother and daughter had, but they never lasted long. So at this point, children, my children were, some were grown, some were just teens, old enough to really, really understand. But I checked out. I completely checked out. So in that aspect, I had to seek help. I had to seek counseling. I was not okay. But I realized that how I was handling and going about through life, not working, not getting up, not cleaning, not cooking, not interacting, just closed off, shut off to myself, not wanting to deal with anybody's life, period, at all, nothing. So I knew that it was only so long that I could continue down that path. So yes, I reached out and I got myself some help. Um, and I will be that help for you as well. So it's not something that I learned, it's not something that I heard, it's not in a textbook. It's something that I've been through, it's something that I know, and it's something that I came out. But I tell you what, how I came out when I say I realized, no, God helped me realize, because in the midst of all of that, the praying never ceased. And I continuously and constantly ask God to help me, give me the better mindset. And day by day, it did. It got better. A lot of times I was in my own way when He was giving me the resources and people were reaching out, but I wasn't ready. So He was always there through that process. I never stopped praying. He gave me exactly what I needed. When I was ready to accept it, it was great. It was the thing that did it for me, that snapped me back, and I was able to start over. And so I was able to reach back out to family members, start over some of those relationships, rebuild those relationships, um, go back out into the workplace, in the work world, and work, and have relationships with coworkers and things like that. And slowly but surely, life got better. And so you go on with life, and then, of course, something else happens. So you're going through relationships. That's where I was, going through a relationship, constantly going through infidelity with the other party, having a business relationship keep kept me in. Let's talk about me. Kept me in longer than I wanted to be in. Kind of just where I was. The business, the money aspect of it was coming in. It was a lot of money. So it wasn't just something so small to where I could just, uh, well, I thought I would be able to just give it up just like that. But, Lord and behold, you live and you learn because eventually it was not worth it. It just wasn't worth it wasn't worth my sanity anymore. Going through the hurt, constantly going through the hurt, and it lessened as you go through it, but nevertheless, it still hurt. Going through it, having to go through it, having to hear the same lies being repeated, or what have you. And so eventually, um, this is what led me um, truly back to God. This is what led me giving my life back over to Him. This is what led me into becoming a minister. This is what led me to the person that you see and hear before you now. Uh, because I've always been able to leave. All within the 17 years, I was always able to get up, leave, go function on my own in another place and make it. But for whatever reason, would always go back. So that was the downfall, always going back. So, with that being said, knowing that I was really, really tired, knowing that I did not want to go back, knowing that I wanted this to be over, I realized I couldn't do this thing by myself. There was no way I was going to be able to get away from this person by myself, and I knew it. So, what I like to say is I had to, I had to bring out the big guns. Yeah, I had to bring out the big guns and I had to fall down on my knees and I had to beg, plead, and cry to ask God to come in. And I had to do it with specifics because I needed Him to not only come in and allow me to leave, because He's always done that, but I needed to stay gone. I needed to be able to let the business go, let go of the aspect of losing the money, let go of the aspect of never having to communicate with this person again because I didn't want whatever it was to creep back in and it be any type of relationship. Didn't want a friendship, wanted nothing, just to be over. And I knew that that was what I needed in order to get out of it and to stay out of it. No communication. God came. It it came, and because I am who I am, a lot of things kind of stopped abruptly. I was out in the nightlife. So that completely stopped drinking. Yes, I was a weed smoker. Stopped instantly, just quit everything that I was doing, nightlife, the people I associated with, everything. Stopped it cold turkey. Had no problem, no withdrawals, never thought about it, didn't waver. It was over. And I knew that this time, the calling that He had on my life that I've always been running from, I knew that this time this was it. This is where the this half of my life, this is how it was going to be lived, and it was going to be lived with God leading and me doing everything in my life to make sure that He was being honored and He was being glorified. So yes, I had to start over with that, but with that I had to start over with finances. I had to start over with the living situation. I had to start over with vehicle. Of course, the other party didn't like it, so there was stalking, there was a security issue, there was so many things that I had to go through to get through that situation. But nevertheless, I had to start over. And this is where I think a lot of people relate when I say starting over. When we're losing relationships, when we're getting out of relationships and we're leaving marriages and relationships where the other party was the breadwinner or brought in most of the income. And so when we decide to leave and that we're not letting the income bind us and keep us there, that's where we have to be strong and we have to go out and we have to start over. And then sometimes we down ourselves and feel like, oh, we're not going to be able to get the job. We're not going to be able to get a job where we're going to be able to afford moving out, paying the rent. You know, these people want three times the rent, things of that nature. So we'll end up staying longer than we want to. But then some of us, like me, just say, hey, you truly let God in. You truly let him lead. And you know that you're going to have to do this particular stage in your life, this starting over, you're going to have to do it by faith. That's the only way I could do it. I had to do it by faith. I went and got that little job at Family Dollar, moved up, became a manager, got an apartment, went in on a special. It went up year by year, but went in on the special, worked out for me. Um, and, hey, I did it. I kept working. I moved up. I paid my little bills. I went to church. I started my tithes. I was, started school and just everything. And it worked out. So starting over is not the end. It's the beginning. And it can be the beginning of something really, really, really great if you put God first, do your part, and stay faithful. You have to pray. You have to give him his glory and realize that, yeah, you're getting the job. Yeah, you're going on the interviews. Yeah, they're calling you back. But hey, you're not doing this by yourself. So he deserves the praise and the honor. You're not doing it by yourself. He's helping you along the way. And if you invited him into your life to help you lead and you've been praying to him, then you should already know that he's the one that's leading this thing, and that's how you're getting what you're getting because he's blessing you and he has put favor upon your life. And so we have to be thankful and grateful of that. So, yes, starting over after relationships, after grief, after illnesses, it could all look so bleak. It could all look so dark, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm here to tell you by experience with all of it. And I'm going to go into more detail as I blog on the blog at www.pinkmotivationalministries.com. Go there, subscribe, and um, read these stories that kind of coincide with the videos. But yeah, of course, these are just videos. So these are little tidbits of information that I can give. But in the blog, there are more details. You can ask questions. Um, you can email me. There are ways that we can connect so that if you're going through things and you need someone to lean on, someone to talk to, you need a plan, you need someone to help you, then I am here to help you with that. Um, so, as you know, this video is going to be streamed YouTube, which is Pink Motivational Ministries. Going to take it over to Facebook as well, which is Pink Motivational Ministries. TikTok, Minister Pink. So I'm going to upload it on all of my platforms. Just I'm asking for support. Go to the YouTube page and subscribe. Subscribe to the website www.pinkmotivationalministries.com. Pink Motivational Ministries is Facebook and YouTube. Minister Pink is my regular Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, and my TikTok. So follow me on the Facebook and TikTok pages, subscribe on the website and YouTube pages, and let's do some live interactions. I want you all to be a part. I want you all to be able to invite, and so we can have a good time. And we're going to be doing game night. I have some prizes to give away. I have some things that I'm going to be organizational things I'm going to be uploading on the website for sale. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's help Pink Motivational Ministries strive. Let's help the ministry be able to help others and go out into the community to help others. With that being said, you can give a donation by via Cash App at $TR Pink. That is how we're able to keep it going and do care bags for the homeless and domestic violence shelter. That is how we're able to give free counseling, spiritual counseling sessions to those who can't afford it but desperately need the help that's out there in the world. And spiritual counseling can definitely help you mentally. Um, so yeah, I'm there for that. So I need you all support though. I need you all support uh with just subscribing and following and liking and commenting and sharing the videos that brings in an income that also helps the ministry. So thank you. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to let you know my hashtag is always staying focused. That's the thing. You're going to be blessed anyway if you're going to let God lead. He's going to give you favor over your life. But in order to do all of that, the big picture of whatever it is that you're going to, you have to stay focused. So that's it. Thanks for listening.